Hello, everyone, and welcome to what I'm retroactively calling the Great Experiment. But Vic, why are you calling it that? Well, it's because this build started out just like any other build, but it quickly mutated into something not this build. If that doesn't make sense to you, then just hang on and I'll show you what I mean. Well, you already know which build it is, so what do you say we get started? We're beginning with this Matchbox Moving Parts C10. Luckily for me, General Motors and Chevrolet decided that the C10 and the C20 should have the same body. I will say, however, that's probably where the similarities are going to end. This truck's going to need a lot of extras in 3D parts, but the one thing that's worrying me is the grille. You're going to see, let's call it a lot, of duplication of effort in this video. I'm going to be recreating the grille, the side boxes, the hood scoop, the pipes, the rims. This thing's going to take a lot of effort. However, when it's done, it's going to be beautiful. Now, where do we begin? Well, we start right here. You see, I'm going to try to save this motor in the interior, but I have something special that I want to put inside of it. In the meantime, let's throw this body and the hood into the goo. Now, I'm going to be doing this several times, so if you happen to want a snack or something, now is the time. You see, initially when I got the build, I thought, well, I'll just do what I normally do. I'll go through the regular process of pulling it apart, putting it in the goo, cleaning it, polishing it, primering it, painting it, sticking some new wheels on it, and being done with it. As you're going to see, that's not the way it ended up. This first truck just wound up being a test bed for the fitment of the new grille and the hood scoop. That's not really the way that I'd intended it, but that's the way it turned out. If memory serves, though, I did get this one all the way to paint. Now, how do we get that super exciting new and interesting grille on the truck? Well, we've got to cut the old one off. That's easy enough to do with the Dremel diamond wheel. See? Easy peasy. Now I'll reassemble everything, do some measurements, and then redesign the grille in Tinkercad. Speaking of Tinkercad, here's the first session for the day. Yeah, that's not too terrible, right? Let's get it printed and put it on the truck. Once I've actually got it on the truck, I'll put it in the primer. I was lucky enough to have Les send me an actual can of the real paint that he put on the truck. If nothing else, I don't have to worry about color matching. Well, folks, here comes failed experiment number one. I had planned on cutting out the hood scoop and actually making the motor for it, but that didn't turn out, as you'll see here in just a moment. My thought process was that the air cleaners would stick through the hood and into the hood scoop just like it did on Casper. As I began to assemble everything, you'll see that that didn't work out right. Speaking of hood scoops, though, let's get on to Tinkercad again. You'll see that once the hood scoop's actually added to the truck, it's a little cartoonishly big. That's okay though, it's a diecast after all. After much finagling to try to get the special feature up under the hood with the engine, I just decided to start over. I was going to have to cut out the engine anyway. Since I had already chopped up the hood and Les had ordered 5 of these, I figured I might as well just start over. Now I've got to find all the parts and pieces, and I don't remember where I put them. Are you starting to see where my brain is going with this, folks? Yeah, that's going to look sick. All right, let's get this thing into the goo. Once I've got it cleaned and polished up, I'll try to start fitting the special feature. I did notice something about the grill though. For it to fit properly, I really got to get close on this right here. You see how that's angled backward? It can't be like that. It's got to be perfectly vertical. Please pardon my poor camera work right here. I'm just doing some fitment tests to make sure that the special feature will actually fit in the cab. I just don't see how I'm going to make it work without cutting out the engine compartment. I had already planned to cut out the interior, but was hoping to save the engine so that the hood could open and you could see the motor. I'll let that roll around for a little bit, but we need to get onto another Tinkercad session so that we can print the bed boxes. Easiest Tinkercad session ever. Here's a good lesson in scaling for you. These right here are actually 1/64 scale versions of the boxes on the side of Les's truck. And since Tinkercad's getting a little obnoxious, I also printed his side pipes. I actually had a file for the rims already, so that was easy enough. And there's the hood scoop. And finally, the grill. Alrighty, let's get all the silver silvered, the chrome chromed, and then I can show you the special feature that I've been talking about. At the moment, I don't have any extra axles, so I'm going to harvest these ones, put them back in the truck once we get the wheels and tires mounted. Alrighty folks, I think we're gaining on it. What do you say we get onto some assembly after I find the tires for these rims? Since I'm not going to be able to fit the motor, I'm actually going to just glue the hood straight to the body. Then I'll glue the grill onto the front of the truck. And the hood scoop to the hood. There we go. It's finally starting to look like something now. Since I had planned on not using the interior, and I now know that I can't use the engine compartment, those can both go the way of the dinosaur, so I'm going to cut them right there behind the seat. Once I've got the floor of the bed cut out, I'll reapply it to the bed and it'll be a semi-complete truck. Well, a semi-complete truck body, anyway. So, what's next? Well, I've got to make sure that the wheels stand upright. You can't allow too much camber angle, you know? Alrighty, I think we're at the point where we can actually put some real primer on a real truck and start getting this thing put back together. Of course, it wouldn't look right without the paint matched blue, so there it is again. So for the special feature to work, I'm actually going to have to get the frame as thin as possible. That means that I have to remove these alignment pegs. What is the special feature, you might be asking? Well, here it is. It's a light. I'm actually planning on illuminating the grill. To get this to work, I have to rob the guts out of this little Chinesium light and then cut a hole in the frame so that the switch can stick through and you can actually use it. I have to be extremely delicate here, folks, otherwise the whole thing will fall apart. Just like that. Damn it. That's okay, I guess. I can use the circuit board to measure out where I need to cut the hole for the switch. And now that I have the hole aligned and the circuit board glued in, this is the result. I'm going to move on to something a little less taxing on my mental state, like decals. The ones on the bed turned out okay, but the ones on the hood, well, not so much. You see, that just makes it super obvious that it's a decal. I'm going to have to do this one the hard way, so decals have to come off. What I'll do to recreate the ghost flames is actually take a shade of darker navy paint and paint them on the hard way. Is it going to be perfect? Well, I don't know. That's up to Les to decide. I'd like to give a big shout out and thanks to Colleen Tebow for sending these to me. It's the first time that I've been able to use them in a build, and I am super excited about it. You see, to hide the special feature and make the truck look natural, I had to fill in the windows. Before this, I didn't have the material to do so, so this is a real lifesaver, Colleen. Thank you so much. Once the glue is dried, I'm going to cut off right here and right here. After rattle canning the inside of the glass, I can put everything together. Finally. It's going to take a little more manipulation and some finagling, but let's get you onto those glamour shots. What do you say?